Going back there. Blessings. Thank you for joining us. Blessings, blessings. Tell somebody else to jump on. We'd be glad to have you. I'm excited about the talk tonight. Bring somebody else in on the conversation. Talking about self-care. How many of us are guilty of not doing that? Many of us have done for people so long that we never realized that we needed it ourselves until it was too late. So we want to go into this year learning how to do things differently so we can get different results. I'm excited to hear how you all do your self-care. What is it that you do? All of us do something different. So I'm sure that there'll be things that folks might try to catch on to and do themselves. But again, the biggest thing is finally acknowledging that self-care just wasn't on the agenda. Your kids, the husband if be so, the wife if be so, then the boss on the job, then the school activities and the different doctor's appointments, and that's just for the people you caring about. How many of us can say we are taking the time for self-care? Apostle White is going to say so much tonight. I'm excited. I'm excited. She's going to do more than 2 minutes because this is what she wanted to talk about. So I'm looking forward to it. So like, tag, share, tell somebody to come on. Those of you who just bounced back off, yeah, it was 3 people up here. Those of you who have bounced back off, while you're off, invite somebody else. Tell them to come back on with you and come back and join this conversation concerning self-care. So much is going on. We're losing so many people. So many people. And most times it's because they never took time for themselves. Even when the body was saying, do this, they continued to go on until it was just too late. So we have to learn how to take care of ourselves because we are important. Loving the me that I see, can you really do that without having self-care? That's a good question to ask. Hey, Ro, you know you're on the wrong page. Self-care. I'm excited. The viewers are going up.
Hello, everyone. Hey, Chick, how you doing?
Yes, you are on the right page now.
You're on the right page now.
We're excited. Self-care.
How is everyone's day? So this was on my mind all day today and trying to figure out what I was going to do for a self-care day. So I asked Apostle, could we talk about it for a little while? Because some of us are mothers, we're wives, we're caretakers, we're husbands, we play so many roles, and throughout the course of a week, we become tired. Bless his nephew, our bodies become tired. And so I want to talk about some areas that we don't talk about with self-care. Um, we talk a lot about taking a day, going away, taking a day, doing something to pamper ourselves. But I was looking up different types, and it talks about physical self-care, mental self-care, spiritual self-care, emotional self-care. All of these are a type of self-care. Social self-care, all of these are a type of self-care. And when it talks about the physical self-care, it says we need to take care of our bodies if we want them to run effectively. Remember, there's a strong connection between our body and our mind. When we care for our bodies, we'll think and feel better. When we care for our bodies, we will think and feel better. Physical self-care includes body, getting enough sleep, doing enough physical activity, caring for your physical needs, attending healthcare appointments, taking your medications on a regular basis. Managing your health is a vital part of self-care. So a lot of times we talk about, oh, go out and have a day. Go out, do your nails, get your feet done, comb your hair. But we never talk about how important our medication is to our self-care. If you're not taking your medicine, if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, your body cannot function like it should in order for you to have a self-care day. So that is very important. That is the physical. Social self care is a key to self care, but often it's hard to make time for friends, and it can be easy to neglect our relationships when life get busy. So we all have that one road dog. My granddaughter say that one ride or die that we rock with. So having self care, you don't have to eliminate the person that you love. you can take them along with you and y'all can do that self-care day together. Because a lot of times your bestie, like me and my bestie, we could be sitting in the same room and don't have to say nothing. But just because we're together, it helps us in our calm, to be calm, to know that everything is going to be all right. If Sugar, I call her, starts having a panic attack or issue, just to know that somebody else is in the room besides you is another form of self-care. All right. Mental self-care, the way we think and the things that we're filling our minds with, greatly influences our well-being. So if we sit around all day and think negatively, if we sit around all day and don't have nothing positive, oh, it's the world is falling, the airplanes is falling, I'm about to die, I might not wake up tomorrow, I got all of these. That's how people are. Everything on Facebook now is talking about the airplanes falling. So now I'm not going to go on vacation because I'm scared if I go up in the air that I might not make it down.
Lord
Negative
God,
thoughts,
Lord God.
just filling our minds with negativity instead of filling our minds with positive things, instead of filling our minds with getting in the word, talking positive. So these are all a part of our self-care day. And I was flawed when I never thought about medication like that. I never thought about the importance, because I could get up some mornings and start my day and forget to take my medicine. My blood pressure pills, it affects the way I go throughout my day. It affects my mood, it affects my headaches, all of that. Whatever medicine that you take, it's a part of your self-care because you're taking care of yourself, right? So if you don't do it, how are you taking care of yourself? Because you're neglecting the very thing that you need to keep you motivated and to keep you going. All right. Spiritual care, your lifestyle, your religion, nurturing your spirit. However, it doesn't have to always involve being religious. It can involve any things that help you develop a deeper sense of meaning, understanding, or connection with yourself. Whether you enjoy meditating, attending a religious service, praying, spiritual self-care is essential to where you are going. Now let's take me for instance. If I go a day and don't pray, my whole day is discombobulated. I'm off, I'm snappy, I'm all over the place because I neglected my spiritual side. So that's my self care for my spiritual side of me. Because if I don't pray, it's just like getting up in the morning, your daily routine, taking your vitamins. We all have a routine that we do when we get up in the morning. We get up, we shower, we wash our face, we go throughout our day, brush our teeth, whatever our daily routine is. Somewhere in there, I have to incorporate prayer because if not, my day is just not off. It's not, my day is just not right. So, what is your spiritual um what do you do spiritually? A lot of times when we talk about spiritual self-care, we go right to religion. Oh, I'm Pentecostal. Oh, I'm Baptist. I'm seven denomination. It don't matter whatever it is.
Seventh Day Adventist.
Yeah, that Seventh Day Adventist. It doesn't matter what religion you are. You are. What are you doing in that religion? What part of your self-care are you focusing on throughout the day? All right, and emotional self-care. Emotional was another big one because it says that we need to develop healthy coping skills. How many of us have healthy coping skills?
Mm.
Emotional focus, strategies. Um, it says that, I'm sorry, there are many ways you might decide to tackle a problem head on and eliminate the source of your stress. In some cases, that may mean changing your behavior or creating a plan that helps you know what actions you're going to take next. In other situations, problems, focused coping may involve more drastic measures like changing jobs or ending relationships that you know mean you no good. Ask for Ask for support from a family, a friend, a pastor, a leader. What are you doing to have coping skills to help you get through those tough times, those times where you feel like you just want to give up, you just want to walk away, you want to kill yourself? What coping skills do you have to help you cope with what you are dealing with throughout the course of a day? So, emotional self care is very important. What strategies are you using to change the way you think? I told them at Bible study tonight. Some of us carry depression and suicidal thoughts and all of these other things, and we wear it like a coat. We never stop to take it off because it has become barriers and so many layers, and we feel like I can't do without this thing. I got to keep it close to me. But what kind of coping skills are we using when our day becomes overwhelming or when the cares of the world seems to weigh us down? What type of self-care are we taking? So I want you to evaluate these things when we talk about self-care, because it's more than taking a day and going to the mall and chilling and doing whatever. It's more than that. It's your physical being, it's your social being, your mental health, and your spiritual, emotional self-care. All of that is a part, all of that is a part of our self-care, and emotional self-care is very important. Find you some stress relief. Well, what do you know? Some stress relief activities. What are some activities? I talked about that tonight too. Apostle likes to do diamond painting. So her diamond painting is a way to help relieve some of her stress. So what activities do you have set up or lined up where you can release that stress? What are you doing? What are some things that you are doing to release that stress? Coloring, crayons, broken crayons still color, right? That's something that Apostle did a while back. But what kind of activities are you doing? Exercising. What are some things that you're doing to relieve some stress? All right.
Meditation over medication.
Meditation over medication.
That's what he said. Yeah.
Oh, meditation is good.
Right.
Come on, karaoke. That's good. Karaoke is a good source. What do you do when you're stressed? What type of activities? It's important that we have an outlet, because if we don't have an outlet, we will explode, and we will explode on those that are closest to us, those that are around us, because we have no outlet. We are holding these things in all day, every day, and there's no type of strategy. All right. So I want us to create fast acting stress relief strategies. What strategies can relieve stress? What strategies do you have in place that can relieve stress before you explode? So these are some of the things that I wanted to talk about tonight. All right. Some effective stress management techniques include meditation, muscle progressive muscle relaxation. Sorry, I was trying to see what deep breathing, going for a walk, something we don't like to do. I promise you, I don't like walking, but it helps release stress. Long hugs helps release stress. Somebody told me last night, I don't like hugging, but it releases stress. All right. Exercise, attitude, social outlets, all of these things are ways that you can release stress.
Window shopping? Mm-mm.
No, I don't like to window shop.
I'd be mad when I don't have the money I want. So
right.
When I see it. Karaoke, the gym, meditation over medication. And there's a massage bed somewhere.
Massage bed?
They have a massage bed.
Oh, I don't like yeah, I don't like going to what do they call it? Spa. Yeah, I don't like spas. They hurt.
Have a spa day. Exercising, reading scriptures, and window shopping.
Meditating is a very good source of I'm finding out when you need to release stress. Meditation is a very good thing, because if you're meditating positively, it's a very good thing to help release stress. Sorry, I was reading something. What's this one say right here? Does it say anything? Oh, the gym. Go ahead, Tika. You got to be careful. My poor daughter went to the gym and went right to 1,000 instead of taking it slow, and couldn't even move the next day. You have to do slow process, slow steps. Okay. You want to say something? I'm trying to find out other notes.
Self-care is very important. I didn't always understand how important it was until these latter years of mine. Um, Self-care is something that I hardly ever thought about until I really started with loving the me I see and understood it the more. Um, Self-care was something I felt like or realized that I never took the time for. It was more important for me to make sure everybody else was good and that there was something I could do for somebody else who was maybe having a bad day, and then having ministry and dealing with the different facets of ministry and picking up the slack of those who are in ministry with you, and then just going and going and going and going. And before you realize it, that is what you become accustomed to, just constantly going and doing and never stopping to let the body, get resuscitated from all of the hard work. And so uh, you don't want to go so far until the body tells you, slow down,
Right.
because you have no guarantee of how quickly you'll be able to get up if the body has to be the one to tell you to slow down. And so it took a couple of heart attacks. It took a couple of things happening in my life for me to realize that I was going to die trying to help folk live who didn't have that desire to live.
Did you know that
Pastor Tracy, I
you
love you.
said heart attack and stroke, um, anxiety, PTSD, depression, and all of that stems from piled up of years not having that self care time, that mental time to just shut down, tune everybody out, like how you do when you're on your diamond paint.
I do. I'm in the
You could get
zone.
ran over and
Right.
she won't even know that you done. You could clock out and she like, oh, what happened? Because when she
Yeah.
get into her diamond painting, so I try to make sure that those diamond paintings are kept up to date with her, because it's something she like to do. She could go through one diamond painting in 2 days. First of all, I'm still trying to figure out how you get them colors to match the way that they do. But yeah,
I love
it's
it.
a lot of our sicknesses, guys, that we are dealing with comes from because there's
Long term.
yes, you so for so long you did not take time to have a self day. So it's important. I'm stressing it to everybody. That's why I asked Apostle, could we do this tonight? And get out of your mind that self-care is going for a long trip to the mall and being by yourself. It's more than that. Taking care of yourself. Now, this may sound crazy, but I never understood when it said self care. I never thought about, and that's why when I read it, when it said your medications is, and I want to stress this to everybody, take your medicine. If you're on medication, take it. I never realized until I started studying and talking about self care how important your medicine is to help you cope throughout a day. If you're not taking your right dosage, you're off. If you're taking too much, you're off. If you're not taking it, you're groggy, you're sleepy, you're tired. So depending on what your medication is, kidney failure, all of these things come along with because you are not having self-care. Self-care. That's why it's called self-care. Taking care of yourself, showering on a regular basis, making sure you're smelling
Doing
good.
what on a
Make
regular basis?
shower.
Yeah, that part.
Making sure you're smelling good, making sure your
Yeah,
clothes
what's
is
that?
changed, making sure your hair is combed. Take them bonnets off your head, walking around with bonnets on all day and scarves and rollers, all of this crazy stuff all day long. That is not self-care. And furthermore, ain't nobody gonna look your way if you running around looking like Annie. Come on, we got to get ourselves together. Huh, Pastor
Shower,
Tracy?
I'm telling
Apostle
you.
Tracy, as Ayana say, shower, get yourself up, get out of the bed. You cannot stay in the bed all day long and have a self day. Have you ever noticed the more you sleep, the tighter you are?
You ask any doctor, they're gonna tell you the
The
same
more
thing.
you sleep, the tighter you are.
She said she have a self date and self care time at least 3 times a week.
I know that's right, Pastor. Go ahead on 3 times a week.
You know, and so you do. Many people, like I said, is the fact of them, especially church folk, and especially those who have been in this way of church for years beyond ours, where self care wasn't necessarily taught. It was just, church work, pray, church work, pray, having problems, pray. There was no other solution in the days prior to us. All they knew was to do what their ancestors had done, and which was pray about it. Blessings, woman of God, pray about it. And so they just went on and went on, people having strokes and people needing all of these catheters and cardiac care. Life keeps life, and whether you live or die, and so I had to learn how to realize that I'm wearing myself out. Like I said, 3 heart attacks, a stroke, gone and been brought back to life, and yet I was still trying to see what it was that I could do for other people. And I had to learn that it is because of that I'm finding myself visiting the doctor more than I should. Is because I'm putting me last all the time. I mean, very, and I had to learn that in order for me to continue, and I shouldn't have had to learn it because it should be common sense. If you're constantly doing and constantly going to everywhere but where you are, when do you get regenerated? When do you get restored? When do you get revived? Right. And when you have to think about it, you already know you're guilty. If you have to think about it, you already know that you've been putting yourself at the very end at all times. And then when your body starts telling you, hey, I'm over here, act like I'm here, then you're upset and you get depressed because it's going to take this much time per the doctor to get yourself back together, and all of the things that you find that you have to do once your body really shuts down. And so in order to avoid that, self-care is very important. And maybe you can't afford to do it for an hour or two like other people do it. 15 minutes is a lot when you used to do nothing. So you start slow, you start minimal, 15 minutes a day, or it might have to be 15 minutes out of a week. I don't know what your schedule is or how busy it is, but find that first 15 minutes. And when you see the results of that first 15 minutes uninterrupted, right. 15 minutes, hear that word, uninterrupted, 15 minutes, which means that you have to schedule it as so. Let your kids know, let your husband know, let your wife know, let everybody that would normally be in touch with you know that this particular time on this day, I'm going to be unavailable, and you can leave a message or whatever, and I'll get back to you. But this is going to be my time. After you get over those first 15 minutes, find yourself taking 30 minutes. Find yourself taking 45 minutes. Find yourself taking that hour. You deserve at least an hour out of 7 days when you're giving yourself to everybody else, because if you do not take it, you will no longer be here to do for them. And guess what? Somebody else is going to take your place. Yeah. They're not going to say, oh, I can't do it because she's not here no more. They're going to find somebody to take your place because they've gotten accustomed to what you were doing for them. And so they're going to make sure that they're able to replace it as soon as possible. So you have to work yourself like that. You have to understand that in order for you to have longevity in what you want to do for somebody else, you got to take care of yourself, right. And stop making yourself feel bad about taking care of yourself. Like, what I look like always take you to get your feet done, and I never. That just doesn't make sense. And if you feel guilty about taking care of self, go pray and ask God how to help you. That's something you can pray about. Ask Him how to help. We need to, yeah, I missed that. We need to really teach on health and healing, dietary needs, and the proper diet. If we eat right, we won't go left.
That's true too. We need to healthy dieting is very important. Um, in order to have a healthy diet, you have to know what you can and can't eat.
Apostle, people will let you burn out and they will move on to the next. For real. I learned too that's
Yes.
why I do self-care 3 times, 3 days, taking some time for me uninterrupted. I'm telling you, because as long as you do for people, they're gonna always want you to do.
Yes.
And it's not that you, because for me, I could do that though, because I just love doing for other people. But I had to learn that I had to be willing to do the same for me. And when I really started thinking about it and I started going down the things that I did make sure happened for other people, and then when I looked at myself, I really had to realize that, hey, like, you're neglecting yourself. All of this wouldn't be here if you would have just thought about this about 6 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, to look at it in hind's view right now, if I'd have known back then what I know now, I probably would have paced myself a lot better. But I didn't. I just enjoyed doing. And because I enjoyed it, I always was looking for something I could do for somebody, even if it looked like time was going to avail itself for me to be, to myself. I wasn't satisfied. I wanted to fill that slot up with doing something. I felt like I was letting somebody down if I had time left on my hand, which really should have been the opposite in my thinking. That time that was allowing itself every now and then, I should have grabbed it while I had it. Because now that I filled that slot, I've left nothing for me. So when I get depleted, now what happens? Because we do it so often that we don't even realize we're working on fumes.
That's the truth.
And so our body has to always tell us something. Tanasia said, just started dieting and it feels good to eat different, but didn't go cold turkey.
You can't go cold turkey because you'll be sick trying to go cold turkey, especially if your body is not used to it. So that's a good thing. And I know you're eating healthy because every time I talk to you, what y'all eating? Baked chicken? I found
Brown
out that
rice.
brown rice. Yep, God ain't graced me for that. He graced her for it. But I'm finding out that a lot of fried food clogs up your arteries and it has you tired and depleted and all of that stuff. While most of us black people like fried food, it's not good for us. It's just not. They suggest that you bake it or saute it or however, whatever you got to do other than fried because the oil clogs up your arteries. And salad is good too. A good chef salad. It's good. It's good for you.
I love fruits and salads. Fried food would be kind of like a specialty. I wouldn't go without it altogether. I wouldn't go without it altogether because I'm a chicken and fish kind of girl.
Right.
And after a while, you just get tired of looking at the baked chicken at many ways that you can do it, sauteed and everything else. At one point, I need that fried in my life. So some of us, let's talk about dieting and self-care just for a few moments, not a lot. Because some people diet because they understand that they need to learn how to eat more healthier. Other people diet because of what people say. And then others diet because they have a bad self-image of themselves and they diet so much so that they become anorexic.
Wow.
And it's all because of how we believe other people are seeing us and not how we are seeing ourselves.
Right.
You might be walking down the street and somebody say, hey, for me back in the day when I was about 10, 11 years old, I was skinny. They was like, look at that stick, and I would go home crying. And my mother was like, what are you crying for? And I tell her what they said. She said, okay, are you walking? And I said, yeah. She said, well, you're a walking stick. And so it didn't necessarily make me feel better, but I understood what she was trying to do, which is to help me learn how to love myself and not go by what people call you, but what you see yourself as. And if we took time to do that more often, we might see something different, because some of us are our own worst critics. We get in that mirror and we don't see nothing nobody said. Like, somebody told you were beautiful and you still trying to figure out how and where, and it is because of that you try to do so many other things. Like I said, the dieting and the band or whatever everybody else is getting, because you see you as this. You ever been to the House of Mirrors in a carnival or something like that? And the mirrors have you looking short and thick and all kinds of crazy ways. And sometimes that is how we see ourselves, because we have endured certain things throughout our lives within our homes, within our own social settings, that has left us traumatized. Even now, you gain 5 pounds and you're like ready to just die because you can't figure out how to get rid of it, because how did you not know it was coming back? And all of this that you beat yourself up about. With self-care, self-care is learning how to love you, baby. Learning how to love you the best way that you can, and being able to be okay with the fact that it doesn't look like everybody else. And there's a reason God made us all unique, and we are all built for certain things to happen in our lives. And so what we want to do is become more comfortable with being with ourselves, become more comfortable with how God made us. He did it on purpose. He made no mistakes. He said everything he created is good. And so, if for no other reason but that, the fact that God has let you know that you are good, you are that good thing. I know it say he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing, but we want you to understand that whether you be male or female, God created you, so you are therefore a good thing. And so you can use that to validate yourself, because before anybody loved you, God did. And the fact that he loved you so much so that you're still alive. Therefore, he's okay. And so you just have to learn how to love yourself. You have to learn how to forgive yourself. You have to learn how to take care of yourself. You have to treat yourself. Okay, so the way that they selling these things now, especially with Bath and Body Works, you spend about $40 just for a lotion, gel, and hand cream, or either lotion, gel, and spray, when you can buy them one at a time and just start to love on yourself. Feel the fragrance. Enjoy that fragrance. Don't buy so many fragrances at one time. Give yourself an opportunity to get used to that one fragrance, and then between your body temperature and what you're putting on is going to create the scent anyway. It's not even going to be the same one that's in the bottle that you're putting on, depending on your hormonal balances in your body. And so self-care can save your life. Self-care is something that only you can define for yourself, if you understand what I mean by that. Because some people say, oh, well, this is what I do, for my self-care. And then instead of you figuring out your own stuff, you're going to try to do what they're doing. Why would you try to do what they're doing? They found out what works for them. Now you need to find out what works for you and make it be there. Like, stay with it. Don't start and then see that you're making progress, get glad about the progress, and then you just stop. That's the worst thing you could do. You need to find a way to continue on with loving yourself, flaws and all, because all of us have them. And like Apostle was saying, people don't understand that medicine is self-care. Medicine is self-care. We don't like to take it, especially me. We don't like to take it, but if it's been prescribed because of things that are going on within you, it would mean that medication needs to be taken so that you can do better with what the situation is. Do you want to stay on it for the rest of your life? No. But if you take it right when you were supposed to, you might not have to be on it ever again. That's still a matter of self-care. Some of us are avoiding taking care of ourselves because we don't like it to be said that we're on medicines. Well, I want you to get over yourself and take your medicine, because it's going to do something for not just your life, but for those who are attached to your life, because how your medicine makes you feel or not affects those that are in your life, because they're the ones that's around you. So what you're doing or not doing is going to be affected. So you don't have to be ashamed about having to take medicine. Take it. Watch the changes. If it's not for you, if it's too much, have the doctor readjust it. They do it all the time. But whatever you do, if they're saying that this is what you need for now, if you take it for now, you might not need it later. And I'm a witness to that. Self-care is important, guys. It really is. And if you don't hear nothing else we say, learn how to love the you that you see. If you're big, enjoy your big. If you're small, enjoy your small. Never make yourself feel insufficient or inadequate by the ways of everybody else's opinions. Take care of you. Get in a relationship with God or whoever your higher power be. As Apostle said earlier, everybody, when you say spiritual, they don't serve the same God. Some people look to the universe. Some people are into Hinduism. You got Allah, you got Islam, and so whatever your higher power is that keeps you spiritually at bay, that's what you want to feed. That's what you want to feed. I can't tell you not to do it your way. You need to do it my way because I don't understand all of the ways of the various religions. And so we have to learn, first and foremost, when it comes to religion, you can't judge people off of what you don't know. Don't say that I'm doing something wrong and you have not done anything to study what I believe in, because you'll find out that we have more in common than not. And so we want to be careful about that. But for me, it is God. For me, it is what he stands for. For me, it is recognizing his son for who he is. And all of us don't see him for who he is. Some of us call him the master prophet. Some of us call him our savior. Some of us call him our advocate. We have what he means to each of us. Grab hold of that. And as you're moving along in this new journey of self-care, bring him along with it. Just don't be so fast to cast down others until you understand where you are.
I agree with you 100%. We definitely got to stress medication. I looked at it so different as I was studying today. I was like, oh my God. And so I'm definitely going to be an advocate of it. I'm going to push it. Can I tell y'all, I hate taking medicine with the passion. I don't like it, but it's going to help sustain my life and keep me from being sick in the long run. So it's okay. We got to push Jesus and medication. That's
Jesus
my new shirt.
Therapy.
It was Jesus and therapy. My new shirt is Jesus therapy and your medicine. Okay, whatever your medicine is. It doesn't have to be a mental medicine. It could be your blood pressure medicine. It could be your vitamins. It's a form of medicine. Whatever you have to do to take care of yourself, people, please do it. It's really serious.
And these unhealthy habits, and for each of you, that unhealthy habit may not necessarily be the same. Nevertheless, any unhealthy habits at this time when you're talking about self-care, this is the time to wean yourself off. Not everybody can go cold turkey. For me, most of what I did negatively wasn't a problem for me to go cold turkey. But everybody is not me. And so you have to give people their props for what they're trying to do, applauding the small steps instead of waiting for that big bang, but you want to eliminate those bad habits. The bad habits are what keep you in the way of thinking that you already are. And if it hasn't proven to be good to you now, then there's no reason for you to keep up with it.
Right.
Whatever it is that is causing you to be something other than who you are, then you need to let it go. Now, some people say that's what medication does. It depends on what type of medication that you're on. And even with mental medications, it's adjusted by how it makes you feel. So you don't have to stay on a dosage that makes you feel like you're a zombie or like you're just floating. You can have your medications adjusted. But the thing is, if you've been prescribed it, take it.
Take your medicine.
I say to people all the time, well, Jesus didn't mind having Luke, the physician, go with him. He had to help them stay alert. Nobody talks about how he kept them, Jesus wasn't performing all the miracles at that time. So how did they know they were sick? How did they know what was going to take to heal?
That part.
They had somebody that was with them that was learned in that situation. And so what we're saying to you is, don't try to be the doctor.
Don't try to be the doctor.
Don't try to be the doctor. Try listening. And like I said, you know, and I know people who this has happened for, including myself. If you start taking medicine for something uh, in your younger years, by the time you're of age, as some would think, beyond 40, you'll find that that medicine is not even necessary anymore, because it did what it was supposed to do: help you learn how to cope with things that were going on without going berserk. And so self-care is different for everybody. It looks differently for everybody. And so don't judge somebody just because it didn't take you as long. You don't know. You don't know how long it took for them to get so down into it. For some, as deep as it was for you to get in, is as long as it's going to take for you to get out.
Wow.
And so if you think like that and consider somebody else, judgment might be your sickness. Stop judging folk. All of us, the Bible lets us know, we all didn't leave anybody out. We all have sinned. We all, until he changed the scriptures, which ain't happened in all these years. He has not removed the word all. So we all have sinned. And so we want to remember that as we start to judge folk, as we start to make folk feel bad about what they look like, how they sound, what they got on. There's so much pressure. We've got to be a source of the help, not the problem. So, Apostle, do you have any more you want to talk about on self-care?
No.
That's my 2 cents.
And that was mine. It's after 10. We try not to be on too long, but that is all I had to say about self-care. Just remember to take care of yourself. It's important. It's only one you. And once you are gone, there is no other you. So take care of you. Nobody else is going to take care of you like you. So take care of you. Do what you got to do. Make sure that you are having your self-care day. It's more than going to get your hands and feet and nails done. You have to take care of you, your body, your hygiene,
Your
your
mental
mind,
health.
your mental. All of that is a part of self-care.
And for me, mental, my music is everything. So when I go in my room and I have my little waterfall and I have my music that allows me to relax even further, because when I'm downstairs I'm doing all of these diamond paintings and puzzles, but when I go up in my room in that time when it's just me in the room and nobody else is there talking to me, nobody else is there asking me how I'm doing, that time, that alone time, is when my music and water help me. Waterfall.
Water. Oh, you mean that waterfall? I thought you meant water you drink.
No.
I was going to say water. Water is
I
a
was talking
vital
about
part
mental.
of self-care. Drinking your water. I'm learning.
Yes,
I
she is
don't
learning.
like water,
I love
but
water.
I have gotten better. I'm drinking water throughout the course of the day where I wasn't drinking none at all. So water is important.
Water, and then some of the waters that help you with other things like your electrolytes. You can get the Propel waters. They have it for different things, and they also have the Life waters have electrolytes and pH balance and stuff like that. Not just regular water. Ask any doctor. That's not it. You need more than just regular water. You need different things to help keep that body, because the body is already made up predominantly of water. So you have to make sure that you keep it cleansed
You ever
at all
notice
times.
when you don't drink water like you're supposed to, your head is hurting, you're extra tired. Oh my God. When I wasn't drinking water, I stayed tired. But the more water you drink, it helps you throughout the course of a day.
So we thank all of you who came on tonight. Thank you for those who went and got somebody else and told them to join. Thank you for your conversation. Thank you for being here for us. We don't take that for granted. You guys take time out of your schedule to be there for us, and we are so grateful. We won't stop because we know that God has more to say. Not sure what next week will be about, but we'll be here. I can tell you that. And so if you would like to be a guest, our most recent guest we had on here was EIT Tanasia, just talking about uh, her life and things that she's doing. So if you would like to be a guest um, on our talk show, is that what this is?
This is going to be a Come Talk show.
All right. So our time with you. How about that? Till we figure it out. If you'd like to be a guest on any topic that we're having, just inbox either one of us. It's nothing for us to add you on to the stream. It would be welcomed. That's how we started out in the very beginning. We always had a guest that we were talking to.
Yes, who started us off?
Either Ayana or Pinky.
Ayana.
Either Ayana. Yeah. So, all right, guys, we love you all. We love you all so much.
Why I thought they said peanut butter?
What? y'all.
I thought Tika said peanut butter. It said podcast. I can't see. I don't have my glasses, so.
And you still can't get peanut butter out of podcast.
The P?
Oh, my Lord.
But thank you for joining us. It was good to see each and every one of you on tonight. Continue to pray for us as we will be soon, Tika, doing a podcast. We're looking in. Tika, don't laugh at me. We're looking into some things so that we can get it started. But you all have a good night. Continue to pray for us as we pray for you. Meet us here. Meet us this weekend. If you are not busy and you're looking for a place of worship, Saturday night, we have a young lady, prophet, apostle coming from California. She will be with us Saturday and Sunday. And I am excited about the move of God. Saturday at 5 o'clock, 202 Hawthorne Avenue, and Sunday at 5 o'clock, 202 Hawthorne Avenue. Meet us for Battered, Abused, but Not Abandoned Women's Ministry, where we have come together to help women live. I'll see you there. If not, we'll see you next Wednesday. Have a good night.